Right, just done this little upgrade. Basically out with the new, in with the newish or newer. This is a new build, about 8 or 9 years old, and the client is planning to sell the house, and they wanted it all tip top. And they're kind of in the industry a little bit, so they wanted to get a new RCBO consumer unit. Which, to be honest, it still baffles me how split loads are still installed en masse in new build estates. You know, with the leakage and dividing up the circuits. I think it's section 314 about the inconvenience in the event of a fault. You know, and the max is something like 9 milliamps, isn't it, on a 30 milliamp RCD for leakage. It's just mad that they're still banging them in now. So yeah, they wanted to go for an upgrade, so the house was all tip top for the sale. So as you probably just saw in the time lapse, it's quite a nice, easy, quick swap. Hager compact RCBOs, all tested. Done my heat shrink labels on the main and the gas. Let's turn it off. I had a few torches going. This is lovely, by the way, this Nebo one. This is the rechargeable version they've got. So yeah, I just final nip and tucks, couple of RCD tests, because I've already done the EICR on the place. In fact, I'll be issuing an electrical installation certificate now, but it may have changed, so I'll go through the testing again and see if, because it was a while ago when I tested it. Right, a very quick run through of testing a ring final circuit. Make sure all the leads are nulled first. We're going to do end-to-end line conductors, and they should be, or live conductors, sorry, so line and neutral, 5.5. Because they're the same size, 0.55, we're expecting them to be exactly the same. And as the CPC in Twin and Earth is slightly smaller, the resistance is higher, and it's 1.67 times greater than of the live conductors. So if we go on here, 7170, I'll do a little calculation. We had 0.55, was it? So do that, and then we'll do an R1, R2, and then we'll do an R1, Rn. So my R1, R2 value, my R2 value is slightly lower than I expected it to be. It should have been 9 something, but it's actually 7.1. Again, real world, yeah, it would be perfect if it's just like the on-site guide, which it's like electrics for dummies, loads of pictures and stuff for idiots. Lovely to be perfect like that, but it's not always the case. Right, R1, R2, I'm going to link one of the live conductors or line conductors of one Twin and Earth with the opposite CPC conductor in the other Twin and Earth. Now, if you can find the cables, that's great. You can physically trace it and spot it. If you can't, pop them on, and you'll soon notice in the readings that you get if it's right or not. Do the calculation. So we'll do line 0.55 plus 0.71 equals divided by 4 should give us the expected reading. So we're expecting to get 0.31 when I do that calculation. So hopefully we should get near that result. It's not always the case, real world example, real life, but we'll go around the sockets and see what we can get. If it gets really, really high or starts climbing, I know I've got them around the wrong way, so I'll come back and I'll swap them around. I mean, I could physically see them, but it'd be good to show. So that's the first socket, 0.36. So pretty close, and let's go around some of the others, see if we get it, see what happens. I'm starting to climb, I could have it on the wrong one. Right, I just swapped them around. hopefully we should get around 0.31 mark. Pretty close. Settle in, that's perfect. Okay, R1 and Rn, exactly the same process, exactly the same calculation, just the values are slightly different. So we're looking at, 0.55 plus 0.55, the sum of that, divide that by 4, is 0.2 something. So that's what we should expect when we go around to the sockets. Remember on this time to put line in and put the neutral one where the continuity is measured on your tester, and then go around the sockets and hopefully it will verify the line neutral. That's also correctly connected in the ring. Let's go and have a look. 3-1, I think I was expecting 2-1, I believe. Oh, there you go, slower in. Getting close, 0.27. It's cool. They're all close, all around this value, which is great. People always ask when they see my consumer units about the spaces between the circuits. So it's not always possible, but where possible, space out high loaded circuits like cookers, ovens, sometimes ring circuits, subboards and stuff like that. Thermal derating, that's the reason I put spaces in. It's not always possible. Sometimes it's fully loaded, or the arrangement of the RCBOs doesn't quite sit. You can't quite put spaces between certain circuits. But if I can, if there's room, rather than just fully loading it up and then blanks on the end, I'll try and space them out, especially where the high loads are. In fact, on this one, I should have put that blank, that side, I think, away from the main switch, and then RCBO blank, like that. But it's not always possible. Sometimes you can. If you can, do it. Thermal derating, it's a legit thing, and I recommend you read up about it. As standard, I've got a fire suppression device going in as well. So I'll drill the holes in the lid and fit that, and that'll sit on the inside. Really decent thing. I get mine from Thomas Electrical Distributors, and yeah, it's a small price, additional cost on a consumer unit for an extra bit of peace of mind. So yeah, love these.
Fancy a cuppa now the electrics are back on?
Yes please mate, milk no sugar. I'm almost done. I've got the last little bit of testing to do, and then a little bit of labelling, and then I'll be done.
Nice. See what's going on, see what you're doing. It's looking good.
Yeah, thanks kid. Cheers mate.
I watch a few YouTube Sparkies. So,
do you?
Yeah.
Fair play. Who tickles your fancy?
I watch a bit of Bundy sometimes. And,
yeah.
Artisan Electric, sorry. Have you seen that guy?
Never heard of him mate, never heard of him. Is he any good?
Well, it's a bit clickbait for my taste.
A bit clickbait? What do you mean mate?
Just a bit special that one. And,
special?
a lot of extra and stuff, like it's a bit tedious with all the extras and that.
Right, labels on, fire suppression device fitted. You can see there's the insulated, I think they're about M4 size, insulated M4 bolt and nut. Just going to stick a couple of labels there, a couple of labels here on here, especially the location of the protective devices. In this property it's a new build, so they've got plastic incoming for the water, but the gas is copper. So I'll write the location of the gas bond, which is external gas box at the front, and then label up the circuits as well on the front here. Label up the recommended inspection date and the next inspection, the date of the last inspection and the recommended date of the new inspection, and yeah, I'll be out of here. Dead easy to do on the app and easy to do on the actual machine itself. Get it on. Let's get it on. do 1/2 first, always. All right, and then stick it on where you want it. Otherwise it curls up like a snake. So get the top half pressed in, and then peel the bottom half like that. You'll be an expert in no time. There you are. Right, I'm going to label up protective bonds, dates, and also that there's a fire suppression device inside. Fire suppression device installed within. Now, black on clear is a lovely one, especially if you've got in a commercial setting where you've got decorative fittings rather than the white. So I do like black on clear. Just looks a little bit aesthetically a little bit nicer. But I'll put that on the inside, I reckon. Sometimes the whites just are slightly off, so it looks a bit weird. I don't know how many of you put down or label. I certainly write it on my certificate, and I've always labelled the consumer as well, even if I'm doing some installation work, just to thinking about the next spark and the headache that they might have trying to find out where the protective bonds are, because sometimes it's in random places in the outbuilding or under the kitchen sink, or sometimes it's not in the kitchen sink, sometimes it's up in the bathroom upstairs or in the lounge behind in some boxing in. So always put it on my certificate, and I always put a label on the consumer unit as well, especially when I do a board upgrade or do installation work, even sometimes on an EICR, sometimes if I'm feeling fruity, just especially if it's been particularly awkward or a difficult find. So yeah, get it on there, help the next spark.